I've been making some pretty big intermittent fasting mistakes, more specifically OMAD, also known as 1 meal a day. And look, I've been in the fitness industry since I was 25 years old. I'm 49, so I've been doing this for 24 years, and I love doing intermittent fasting. But there's three huge mistakes that I've been making, and I want to share them with you so you can avoid these mistakes and continue to lose weight. Now, before we jump right in, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Ernst. I'm an intermittent keto fasting coach who has helped hundreds of men from all over the world to lose at least 40 pounds in 16 weeks using my Keto Shed 40 coaching program. If you want more information on that, I'll go ahead and put a link in the description of this video that kind of explains a little bit more in detail as to how I could potentially help you. So let's just jump right in on the three big mistakes that I've been making when it comes to doing 1 meal a day. Mistake number one is I haven't been sticking legitimately to just one meal. So here's what's been happening. I'll have my one meal. I try to eat it at around like that 2 in the afternoon or 3 o'clock. But by the time 8 p.m. comes, I'm sitting on the couch, I'm watching TV. What am I doing? I get hungry, I get a craving, and I end up having some snacks, which is not a part of 1 meal a day. 1 meal a day literally means 1 meal a day. You're only going to eat food within a certain time frame, and that is it. You're not supposed to be snacking and eating later on. So one of the things that I've been eating, which actually goes into mistake number two, is I've said this in other videos before, but I've told people if they had a little bit of a craving that one of the things that they could do is have 2 tablespoons of organic peanut butter. Now, this peanut butter is great. There's only 2 ingredients in it, all right? It only has peanuts and salt. However, because peanut butter tastes so well, I've been eating more than 2 tablespoons. Now, 2 tablespoons of this is 180 calories. All right, so let's just round it up to 200 calories. Let's say I'm having like 4 tablespoons. Okay, so that is like what, 400 calories? But wait, it gets even better. Because I like Reese's peanut butter cups, what I've been doing is I'll get these Lily's chocolate chips that have no sugar in it. All right, it's sweetened with stevia. And I'll take my tablespoon and I'll get the peanut butter and then I'll put some of these chocolate chips on the peanut butter, all right? Now, these are low in calorie. They're only 60 calories for 1 tablespoon, which is actually pretty big. But when you're eating 6 tablespoons of peanut butter with the chocolate chips, now you're getting up to like 600, 700, 800 calories after I've already had maybe a 1,200 calorie meal early in the day. All right, so really I'm legitimately not having 1 meal a day, like I said, mistake number one. But mistake number two is what I'm eating. My calories are actually getting closer to that 1,800, and I'm eating late. 8 p.m. is not a good time to be eating when the sun goes down. All right, so that's mistake number two. Now, mistake number three is there's probably a reason why my 1 meal a day is no longer satisfying me, all right? I've been training really hard. I train 5 days a week in the gym. I take a lot of walks in my neighborhood. And what can happen is if you do 1 meal a day for too long, your body begins to think that it's going through a famine. And what this does, it's going to elevate a hormone called cortisol. A lot of people who walk around who are skinny fat, or you see these guys where they're like lean everywhere except for their gut, they have what's called cortisol belly, all right? That is a situation where your body thinks it's starving itself, it's going through a famine, therefore it raises this hormone called cortisol, which is a stress hormone, which is going to cause you to hold on to belly fat. You got to understand, your body's primary job is to keep you alive. So if it senses any type of deprivation, it's going to hold on to this belly fat. So what I've been doing is OMAD for probably too long, and my body's essentially telling me, hey, you really should be eating at least 2 meals a day because you're training really hard in the gym. You're probably not getting the amount of protein that you need, and that's a little bonus. All right, I said there was only 3 mistakes, but as a bonus, it's very difficult to get all of your protein within that one meal. A simple formula is just to take your body weight in pounds, and you should be having at least 1 gram per pound of lean body mass. So if I'm, around that 190-ish, I should be getting at least, 190 grams of protein. Well, it's very hard to do that in just 1 meal a day. I do it on Fridays, but that's because the meal that I have on Fridays is very high in protein and very low in calorie. And if you've seen my other videos, you would have seen that I have a big seafood type of meal where I'm having salmon fillets, scallops, and shrimp. That comes to about 185 grams of protein, and that meal is only like 700-800 calories. Very high in protein, very low in calorie. However, I'm only doing that once a week, and it's very important that you get the proper amount of protein because it's required to build muscle. The more muscle you have on your body, the more calories you're going to burn at rest. So essentially, I'm only getting my protein needs in that one meal only once a week, which is on a Friday. All right. The other thing that I've been doing and I've been noticing is I'll do these 48-hour fasts toward the end of the week. I'll fast from Friday afternoon to Sunday. I'll drop at least 3 to 4 pounds. I mean, like clockwork, 3 to 4 pounds. But when I break the fast on Sunday, I'm probably eating a little too much. And I keep telling myself, okay, let's just stick to 1 meal a day for the rest of the week because we've got a good trajectory going here. You're down to 190. Let's get down to 188 and 187. I'm really trying to get to 180. I want to give myself 10 pounds of space. So if I happen to go on vacation or like we celebrated my wife's birthday yesterday, if I gain a couple pounds, so what? I'm still going to look great. I would say overshoot your goal by 10 pounds. So that's what I've been trying to do. But I've been literally doing this for about a month and a half. I'll get down to like 188, 189, and then I break the fast on Sunday. I tell myself, hey, just stick to one meal for the rest of the week. Let's keep it going until I get to 180. But because I'm not legitimately having 1 meal a day and I've been snacking with the peanut butter and the chocolate chips, what happens is my weight starts to creep up. I get pretty high. I wouldn't say I get too high. I haven't gone over 195. I will tell you that the highest I've gone is around that 194. So let's say on Friday I'm 194. I lose the 4 pounds by Sunday. I'm at 190. But then guess what? It starts all over again. I try to do the 1 meal a day, but I keep darn getting into this peanut butter and the chocolate chips. Before you know it, my weight goes back to 194. And then I drop to 190 on the weekend. You see the pattern? And I just can't stay in the 180s. So the approach that I would recommend for you is that if you're struggling with 1 meal a day, you could possibly be eating too early. Now, I would not suggest that you eat too late. I'm not saying to eat your 1 meal a day during dinner time because that can have effects on you as well, where it can make it difficult to lose weight. Because most people, let's face it, at the end of the day, they're less mobile, they're not exercising, they're sitting on the couch watching TV. It makes no sense to eat all of your calories toward the end of the day when your body doesn't need it. So you need to find a sweet spot. I'm thinking maybe that like 3, 4 p.m. That's kind of like right before dinner time, way after lunch. And maybe by the time the evening comes, you're not going to be hungry. And you're not going to snack on something like peanut butter or chocolate chips. So that would be a much better approach. And you probably need to start implementing 2 meals a day, maybe 3 days out of the week. Do what's called burst fasting. I've talked about this in other videos on my channel where you choose maybe 3 days out of the week where you do your 1 meal a day, very low calorie, maybe 500 to 800 calories. And then the other 4 days, just eat normally, 2 meals a day. This way it avoids the trap of doing 1 meal a day too long. If you do 1 meal a day is too long, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a whole month, and even months, I've seen people do it for months, your body's going to stall, it's going to plateau, and you're going to be holding on to belly fat because it thinks it's starving, and you're going to elevate that cortisol. Does that make sense? So those are really the three big mistakes I've been making, as I haven't been sticking to just the one meal a day, because I've been snacking on the peanut butter and the chocolate chips. I've been doing one meal a day for far too long. It's just better to mix it up. And then the other mistake is I just need to start implementing some type of burst fasting and maybe add some other meals throughout the week so I don't feel like I'm starving myself. All right, so I hope this video really helps you to avoid some of these mistakes. I'm learning this about myself. Like I said, I've been doing this for over 24 years and I'm still a student of learning on how this whole fasting thing works and how it can be beneficial for you. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and always hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Until next time, I'll see you then.